Hello Math 95 students, looking at section 9.2. Still graphing parabolas. This time the quadratic equation is in what's called standard form. Standard form. So if you remember in 9.1 we looked at, it's called vertex form. Standard form looks like this. F of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. No, that's kind of sloppy. Ax squared plus bx plus c is standard form. All right. You're going to approach these very similarly to how we did vertex form. Vertex form is easier because the vertex is really easy, explicitly given to you in the equation itself. It's really easy to see the vertex. Here, that's not the case. We have to figure out what the vertex is through a few extra steps. Okay, so these are the steps we have to follow to find the vertex when it's in standard form. All right, the x coordinate. You know, vertex is an ordered pair. It has two coordinates, has an x and a y. The x coordinate is found pretty simply. You just do negative b over 2a. Negative b over 2a will give you the x coordinate of the vertex. To get the y coordinate, you will plug, after you get the x coordinate, plug the x coordinate into the equation. So you're going to plug that x coordinate into this equation for x, and what you get there will be the y coordinate. And then you'll have your vertex. After you do your vertex, then you do the exact same steps we did before, where you go over 1, up 1, over 2, up 4, or you go over 1, up 1 times a, over 2, up 4 times a. So let's do some examples of that. Now let's do an example. All right, so the first thing we need to be able to do is make sure we can identify the A, B, and the C. All right, the A is right here. It's the number in front of the x squared. It's 2 in this case. The B is right here. It's 4 in this case. The C is right here. It's negative 1. So the A is in front of the x squared, the B is in front of the x, and the C is the constant that doesn't have an x with it. So to find the vertex, the x coordinate, I would do negative b over 2a, which in this case is negative 4 over 2 times 2, which is negative 4 over 4, which is negative 1. So negative 1 is my x coordinate. All right, then I'm going to plug negative 1 to find the y coordinate. I'm going to plug negative 1 into that equation. I'm going to go 2 times negative 1 squared plus 4 times negative 1 minus 1. So negative 1 squared is 1, so that's going to be 2 times 1. 4 times negative 1 is minus 4 minus 1. So I've got 2 times 1 is 2 minus 4 minus 1. 2 minus 4 is negative 2 minus 1. Negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. So my vertex is negative 1, negative 3. That's my vertex. Okay? So I will graph this thing. Negative 1, negative 3. Here's my vertex. From here, I will go over 1 and up 1 times a. Right? Over 1, up 1 times 2, which is 2. So up 2. So there's my first point. Do the same thing on the left side. Over 1, up 2. And then go over 2, up 4 times 2, which is 8. So go over 2, go up. I'm going to make some more dashes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and the same thing on this side. Over 2, up, all the way to same thing as that, up 8. And here's my parabola. Okay. All right, let's do another example. All right, let's do a second example. Okay, so let's find our vertex. The x-coordinate is negative b over 2a, which in this case is negative 6 over 2 times negative 1, which is going to be positive 6 over negative 2, which is negative 3. Okay, then I plug negative 3 to get the y-coordinate. I plug negative 3, which is my x-coordinate, into that equation. So I've got negative 3 squared minus 6 times negative 3 plus 5. So that's going to be, let's see, negative 3 squared is positive 9, so I've got a positive 9 right there, but I've still got the negative in front of it. Negative 6 times negative 3 is positive 18 plus 5. So that's negative 9 plus 18 plus 5, which is going to be 9 plus 5, which is 14. All right, so my vertex is negative 3, 14. That's my vertex. All right, let me graph this. Negative 3, 14. Oops, let me put it like this. Negative 3, 14 should be right in there. That's my vertex. Then I go over 1, up 1 times a, which in this case is negative 1. So 1 times negative 1 is negative 1, which means I go down 1. So I go over 1, I go down 1 on each side. Then I go over 2 and up 4 times a, which is negative 1. That's going to be negative 4. So I go down 4. So I go over 2, go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over 2 and down 4. So the same thing there. And here's my parabola. Okay. Good enough. All right. Let's do just maybe 1 or 2 more examples. Let's do this one. What's the vertex? The x-coordinate is negative b over 2a. What's b? There is no b, so b is 0. 0 over 2 times 2, which is still 0 over 4, which is still 0. Then plug 0 in to get the y-coordinate. Plug 0 in, 2 times 0 squared, which is 2 times 0, which is 0. So my vertex is 0, 0. 0, 0 is my vertex. Okay. I go over 1 and up 2. I go over 2 and up 4. Do the same thing on the other side. I'm sorry, not up 4, up 8. Over 1, up 2, over 2, up 8. And I went up, over 1 up 1, but instead it's over 1 up 1 times 2 because A is 2 here. So I go up 2, and usually I go over 2 up 4, but I go over 2 up 4 times 2, which is 8, so I go up 8. All right. How about B over 2A? All right, vertex, x coordinate, negative b over 2a. What's b in this case? There is no b. The 9 is c. The negative 3 is a. There is no b. So again, it's 0 over 2 times negative 3, which is going to be 0 over negative 6, which is still 0. And plug 0 in, negative 3 times 0 squared, getting my y coordinate now, plus 9. That's going to be negative 3 times 0 plus 9. That's 0 plus 9, which is 9. So my vertex is 0, 9. 0, 9. And then I go over 1, and I go down 3. So usually I go up 1, but 1 times negative 3 is negative 3, so I go down 3. And I go over 2, and I'm going to go, I usually go up 4, but I go up 4 times negative 3, which is negative 12, so I go down 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm right here. Do the same thing on the other side. And that's good enough. All right, how about one more? Okay. Vertex, x coordinate, negative b over 2a. In this case, what is b? b is the 4 right there. Negative 4 over 2 times 1, which is negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. The y coordinate, plug negative 2 in, negative 2 squared, plus 4 times negative 2. That's going to be positive 4 minus 8. That's going to be negative 4. So my vertex is negative 2, negative 4. Negative 2, negative 4. About right there. I go over 1 up 1. I go over 2 up 4 on both sides. Since the a is just 1, I don't have to multiply it by anything. And there's my parabola. Right, let's look at a couple of homework problems. The first homework problem is a little different than the examples I've given you. It gives you kind of the parabola and it tells you to find the x coordinate of the vertex. It's actually a very easy thing to do. All you have to do is take the 2 points that it gives you and just find the average of the x coordinates. So what's the x coordinate of this first one? It's 0. What's the x coordinate of the second one? It's 10. So I find the average of 0 and 10. That means I add them together and divide them by 2. That's 10 over 2, that's 5. So the answer is 5. The x coordinate of that vertex is 5. Let me go type that answer in. All right, so this is a similar problem. It gives you this point, and it gives you this point, and all it asks you to do is find the x coordinate of the vertex. All you have to do is find the average of the x coordinates. The x coordinate of the first one is 0. The x coordinate of the second one is 4. You're just going to add them together and divide by 2. 4 over 2, that's 2. So the answer is 2. The x coordinate of the vertex is 2. All right, let's do this problem. All right, first the vertex, I need to find the vertex. Negative b over 2a, that's going to be negative 6 over 2 times 1, which is just 2. That's going to be positive 6 over 2, which is 3. 3 is the x-coordinate of the vertex. Plug 3 in. 3 squared minus 6 times 3 plus 7. That's 9 minus 18 plus 7. That's negative 9 plus 7. That's negative 2. So the vertex is 3, negative 2. I'm going to go type that in the Math Excel. 3, negative 2. Isn't that what I said? 3, comma, negative 2. Okay. Now I have to graph this thing. So I click my vertical parabola tool. I go to 3, negative 2, and I put a point. Then since the a is just 1, I just do my normal thing. I go over 1, up 1, and it's going to graph the whole parabola for me. And that's very simple. Okay. Let's do another one. Again, negative b over 2a, in this case, is negative 20 over 2 times negative 5, which is negative 20 over negative 10, which is 2. So the x-coordinate's 2. Now plug 2 in. Negative 5 times 2 squared plus 20 times 2 minus 4. That's negative 5 times 4 plus 40 minus 4. That's going to be negative 20 plus 40 minus 4. That's 20 minus 4. That is 16. So 2, 16 is the vertex. All right, let me go back to Math Excel and type that in and graph it. Okay. You remember what it was? 216. 2, comma 16. Now let's graph this thing. 216. I'll do my vertical parabola tool. Go 216. Here's 216. I go over 1 and down 5. Over 1, down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it'll graph the rest of the parabola for me. Okay. Again, this one, all you have to do is find the average of the x-coordinates to find the vertex. I'm just going to add 2 and 12. That gives me 14. And divide it by 2, that's 7. So the x-coordinate of the vertex is 7 here. All right, I'm going to skip a few. All right, on this one, I'm just looking at the graph they give me and answering the question. It says find f of negative 5. That means negative 5 is the x-coordinate, and you're going to find the y-coordinate on this blue curve. So go to negative 5 on the x, then go to the y-coordinate, go to the curve and see what the y-coordinate is right there at that point. And it is what? It is negative 2. So f of negative 5 is negative 2. Now look at negative 5 on the x, go on the curve and see what that y-coordinate is on that curve right there. So negative 2 is the answer. Okay, this time it says find x when f of x is 1. So this time, it's not giving me x, it's giving me the y-coordinate. The f of x is the y-coordinate. The y-coordinate is 1. So I go to the y-axis at 1, I go to the curve, here's the 1 on the y. I go to the curve, and I say, what is that point right there? What is the x-coordinate of that point? The x-coordinate of that point is negative 2. So on the previous problem, it gave me the x-coordinate and I had to find the y-coordinate. On that problem, it gave me the y-coordinate and I had to find the x-coordinate. This time it just says find the maximum value of f. The maximum value is the highest point of this curve. Like what's the highest this curve gets? It's right here. What is that maximum height? Look at the y-axis for the height. What's that height right there? It is 3. So my answer for the maximum value of f is 3. All right, that should be good enough for going over those kinds of problems for 9.2. Good luck on that assignment, and I'll see you again. And the next chapter we cover will be chapter 12.